Welcome to the Sharpe Club. A little bit past 9 p.m. on the East Coast. And I know you're saying, Larry, your show seems to go on like whenever. No, it's supposed to go on at 7. But nighttime is Monday. I get to stay up late. Because my caregiver, Kit Cabello, allows me to stay up on those nights. He gives me permission. Otherwise, I got to go to bed because I'm an old-ass man. So I got to go to bed early. But he allows me to stay up. That's what he does. So he gave me some permission. I can stay up late tonight. That's why I'm doing 9 p.m. All right. So this is going to be a great show. I know you're saying, wait a minute, Larry, all of your shows are amazing. True. This one is extra amazing because we're talking about something I think a lot of you have been talking about, which is the RFK switch from running more as an independent, trying to win the election on his own, more to now all of a sudden kind of being on the Trump train, trying to get Trump to win so he can be in the cabinet. Is it helping Trump? Right? Is Trump actually gaining from it? Is he not? Was it a good move for either one? It was a good move for Kennedy. Was it a good move for Trump? Which one? And I have brought together this evening a star-studded panel of people who will blow your mind. I'm bringing in a guy who's been talking about politics for a while, growing his own channel. He's almost as cool as me, not yet, but almost as cool as me. He is a video creator talking all about politics, the man himself, Adam Moreno. How are you, sir?
I am good. It is so good to be here. I'm excited.
Nice. I'm happy that you are here. And I'm bringing in my brother from Chi-Town, the man who knows a lot about everything except one thing. And the one thing he does not know much about is pizza. Besides that, he is absolutely a brilliant man. You should watch his show called Hard Lens Media. The man himself, my fellow Marine, Kit Cabello. How are you, sir?
Semper Fidelis, my fellow brother Marine. And yes, look, Chicago-style pizza is the best style pizza there is.
I don't know.
No debate, no conversation, but always good to be back on your show. So thank you for inviting me for this
Chicago
really
cake is not pizza, okay? Chicago cake is not pizza.
Oh, all right. Hey, listen. Right now, I'm still dealing with the defeat of the White Sox. Come on. Just let me have this, okay?
I'll let you go.
Let me go with this.
Our returning champion, the man from No Soundbites Allowed. You see him all the time. You're probably tired of him. I am, but I still love him, so I bring him on anyway. The man himself, Michael Vass. How are you, sir?
Semper Fi, my fellow Delver dogs, and Adam. It is wonderful to see you for the first time live here. Likewise. We're going to have a great time. Larry, I got to give it to Kit. Deep dish pepperoni. I do love it. I do love it.
It's correct. Listen, 2 Marines against 1. You got to fall in line, Marines. Never fight out.
I'm taking the New York card. Mike, I'm taking your New York card. I'm taking it. Taking your New York card. Taking it.
Gotta love it, man.
Oh, my God. All right, Adam, help me here. Which is better pizza, New York or
do not
Chicago?
Say pineapple.
I've never had Chicago pizza.
What?
Good.
Wow.
Only
that means
New York. Only had New York. So maybe one's by default, but also New York just has to be a little bit more iconic, right?
See,
I don't know. Maybe it has a history.
Adam, I think you are a good person, but you are gravely mistaken and incorrect. And I will be more than happy to give you a proper education. So there you go.
You know what? I reserve the right to change my mind in the future.
There you go. As you should. Savvy. As you should indeed.
That was savvy. Nicely done. Guys, if you want to follow these gentlemen, you can. Please follow Adam on Twitter at Adam C. Moreno. You can follow Kit on Twitter also at Kit Cabello. And you can follow Mike on Rumble at No Soundbites Allowed. Guys, I want to talk about this question. I think it's a big deal. I was just at the Rescue the Republic event last weekend, yesterday, Sunday. A lot of people showed up. Some heavy hitters like Russell Brand was there. I mean, a lot. Jimmy Dore was there.
Shout out to Jimmy in Chicago.
Yep, he was there too. Also, Tulsi Gabbard was there. Jordan Peterson was there. RFK Jr. was there. Tons of people were there. So, but they were all kind of under the idea of what they're calling now MAHA, right? This is Make America Healthy Again. This is that piece that is supposedly kind of like joining with the Trump campaign to move Trump forward. I'm not sure it's working. I'm not saying it is or isn't. I want to hear opinions on this. I'm not sure. It feels like it's almost like 2 separate campaigns. Like the Tulsi RFK is like one campaign and like Trump is another campaign. Am I wrong?
You're wrong.
Tell me, Mike.
You're wrong in a sense. Let me explain. One of the great things that we've been seeing in this election, unlike any other, is that Donald Trump has really spread the wealth. He has raised up a lot of campaigns. Third parties notoriously during any election get beat upon. They're
100%. I've watched it happen to myself.
I know that statement, but I got my counter.
Yeah, and I
go ahead, Mike. Finish up.
I believe in we need to have all the voices heard, and Trump has been raising that up. He has been able. RFK was in a news media blackout. Either you had something to piss on him with, or you didn't say anything at all on MSNBC, the mainstream, all of the big guys. And now when he came with Trump, he's been able to talk about MAHA and made people hear about that. He's been able to talk with Tulsi, and that's been bringing in the free speech, just as John Kerry has just been saying he wants to destroy, him and the Democrats want to destroy free speech because of disinformation. You know, like when the New York Times said the laptop wasn't real for 2.5 years. And then
said, let's not do laptop. You love laptop.
I'm just well, the laptop is a real story. I mean, let's face it was suppressed by corporate media, and Twitter and Facebook did everything it could to suppress that story. And I've had even my own viewers who have either 13 or even low followers who said, hey, when I posted this on my Facebook page or Twitter account way back in 2020 when it first came out, you know, their channels, their accounts, their own personal accounts, and they don't even have what we have here, Larry. You know, they were suppressed and censored. So, I mean, that is something we still have to address. That was a real story that was ignored, and quote unquote 50 experts from the CIA were all saying that it was classic Coca-Cola classic Russian disinformation, which turned out, again, those 50 experts were wrong, and that story was true. But I wanted Michael to finish his point, because Larry and Michael, you are both correct. But I want Michael to finish his point.
No problem. But that's the example of what I'm saying, that Trump is he's helped to bring those voices into the conversation in the mainstream that otherwise would never exist in this election. And that also gives us an indication. We do know Trump will listen to other people if they make sense, if they have a good argument. And he's like a CEO, and the CEO takes advisement from his advisors. So that gives me a good feeling for the future. So that's where I think it's different. Now, I'm willing to hear Adam and Kit tell me how I'm wrong or where I'm wrong.
Adam, if you would like to shoot first, or would you like me to shoot first? I would be more than happy to get started.
Go for it.
All right. So Larry and Michael, I'm going to say this. You are both correct in different aspects. Larry, you are correct that there is a diversion between the Trump and the Tulsi and RFK camps. Okay. Because again, let's be very clear, because I was there at the DNC convention and I saw firsthand just how mediocre that event was. And it was mediocre. There was nothing earth-shattering about what happened at the DNC convention in Chicago. Dare I say it, the one in 1996 or 1994 with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton was more energetic than what we saw in Chicago. Except in Chicago, we saw more security, more fences, and people being censored and suppressed. So let's talk about what happened. First of all, in the aftermath of the DNC convention, RFK Jr. and again on the following day as well, Tulsi Gabbard both gave their endorsements to Donald Trump, which was a huge boost. But again, Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. are both politically and theologically different than Donald Trump as a whole. So yes, there are two different camps. Now, is Donald Trump listening to that side? Yes. But is he fully embracing what they are saying? The answer is no, he is not, because Donald Trump is a man who likes to go to his own tune. This is who he is. And if we are to say that he's somebody he's not, then we are lying to ourselves. But in regards to building a coalition, there's a lot of opportunities that Trump has gained and that he has missed in regards towards the whole idea of make America healthy again, as well as the fact that there is something fundamentally wrong with our republic in regards to money and politics, ongoing wars, and Wall Street influencing and buying off our politicians. RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard, to some extent, are more in point of calling out that there's something wrong. Is Donald Trump the cure to it? No, he isn't, because he has also fallen prey to the fact that, especially during his first term, he has helped contribute to it, but he's also given the great reveal about why there are things wrong. He inherited the border problem, the kids in cages. He inherited the fact that there are ongoing wars. When confronted about the fact of why we are in the Middle East, specifically in Syria, he told the American people the truth. We are there for the oil. Now, if there's going to be a second Trump presidency, Donald Trump is going to have to do the impossible task, and that is de-escalating the conflict in Gaza, which also includes Lebanon, Syria, Iran, de-escalating conflict in Ukraine, de-escalating any kind of conflict between China and Taiwan. That's what he needs to do to prevent World War III. Now, again,
if he does that, that's amazing. If he can,
that would be amazing. And I'm saying this. I'm saying this shooting from the hip here. Idealistically, and that's my weakness, my idealism, and I know that's my weakness. I want him to succeed in that point, but again, we have to remember he is, and he's been part of that system of the neoliberal corporate system. He brought John
Bolton in.
Yes,
John Bolton's never known a country he doesn't want to bomb. He hasn't met one country he doesn't want to bomb.
But I do want to finish my point here.
Go ahead.
There is an opportunity. There is the potential. And I don't know if Trump will do it because Trump is a person who doesn't understand the meaning of no. He doesn't also understand the meaning of, hey, you might be making a mistake here. If it is possible, however unlikely, if he truly does, let's say, bring RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard in regards to selecting his campaign, or these or that, correction, not campaign, his administration. That means bringing people in that could theoretically challenge him critically in regards to how to make things better for his administration. Trump is a person who doesn't like to be challenged. Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. have a history of challenging the establishment. Now, I'm not saying that they're perfect because they have screwed up in ways in which I can criticize them, especially with their, again, support for Israel and this war in Gaza. But again, that's a whole other ball game. But the thing is, there are other things in which they can critically bring in people to, dare I say it, maybe make this administration. Now again, is there a possibility in which a Trump administration can turn things around? 1%, possibly. We are in a downfall. We are. Wait. Let's be clear here. We are in a downfall. We are in a downfall because of our economy, because of the failures of what wasn't taking place in 2008, of Barack Obama and Biden's administration.
Still there. You're right.
And the thing is, I know this has been used a lot, but we are a nation that is being compared to the downfall of the Roman Empire.
Yes.
And we are in a spot in which we have to recover from, or dare I say it, to see the whole thing to collapse on its own weight. So I know. But wait, one last point.
Oh my God!
There is the possibility of maybe a unification, but there are clearly two separate camps: RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard, and Donald Trump. Now, is Trump going to listen to him? To Michael's point, possibly 50-50, but it's all up in the air and what Trump wants to do.
50-50.
We're gonna. There's a lot there, but Adam, go ahead because you got a bunch of Marines around you. Go ahead.
yes.
So it's a war zone in here. I love it.
Yeah, that's us.
Welcome, Adams. Welcome, Adam.
Something I bring up in my videos is like there's constantly a battleground of ideas, right? But the best idea will win. But it needs this friction, right? Usually, right? In a perfect world, right? In a perfect world.
Yes. That's true.
So something that I'm seeing between these two camps, I do think these camps exist, but I don't know if I see it more as a camp more than I see it as like an umbrella that exists, that is the Trump campaign. And now there's these other umbrellas that are starting to have some exposure, which is, I think, make America healthy again. Right. So now what I'm seeing from people's perspective, from like, people in my comment section, because a lot of people still don't completely align with Trump, but they do align with Tulsi. They do align with RFK. They feel represented there. They trust their direction, and they trust that. And I think what's important is that they trust their singular direction more than they trust Kamala's direction. Because with Kamala, it's just Kamala, right? Like I was talking about how
she has nothing.
It's freedom and joy, Kit. Okay, freedom and joy. Stop.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
And when you compare the teams of both of these, umbrellas underneath Trump, you have RFK, you have Vivek, you have Musk, right? You have Vance, you have these heavy hitters. And when you compare it to what Kamala has, she has Oprah, she has some athletes, she has some other millionaires, right? She has Cheney. She has a team of people who people don't necessarily align with. At the end of the day, Oprah is not relatable. At the end of the day, not everyone's a world-class athlete with millions of dollars in the bank, but people find themselves represented in Kennedy. They find themselves represented in Tulsi. So like I was just watching Zachary Levi, the Shazam actor, and he was saying, I'm voting for Kennedy and Tulsi through Trump. And I love that vernacular, right? Because that's so specific. I'm voting for this team through Trump. And I think a lot of people feel the same way.
You're saying it's kind of working then. Well, before we go there, guys, hold on. I have to take a super chat, please. A long story short says, Larry, you upstate or downstate? Coal oven pizza. Thank you for $2. I appreciate it, my friend. I'm downstate, and coal oven is good. I'm just saying it is. It's good.
Well done, Larry. Your stock just boosted 100% in my book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coal oven can be nice. Coal oven can be nice, but
yes.
It's a nice little. It's like a dessert. It's nice.
Michael. We are. The friendship is over. How dare you?
I prefer to have either a real pizza with like shaved sausage, or give me a deep dish pepperoni. You know, it's just not enough there. I'm sorry.
So,
I like
guys, if you want to break our chat and you want to actually get your stuff, and you can just super chat me. If you're watching on Larry Sharpe YouTube, you can always super chat if you want to. Even whether you super chat or not, please click the like button. If you like what you're hearing, click the button that is like. You know you want to
hit the like button.
Just do it. You want to do it, so just don't stifle yourself. Just do it. It's fine.
It doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah. Cost you nothing. And in fact, you can also share it if you want. If you're on Twitter, Facebook, share it. You can subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to any of these channels, you literally have a mental problem. You have a mental problem. What's wrong with you? Sign. What are you doing? Subscribe. Do something.
Come on, make it happen. Live and direct.
If you want to, if you really love me, and I know many of you do, you can just go on to my Larry Sharpe YouTube page and become a member. It's $5 a month. And then I do more of this and less working and stuff. And I have to still work and stuff. So I can do less of that if you guys do this. So do this so I can do more of this too. We all win here. Everyone's winning. But no matter what, please follow these three gentlemen. Follow Adam on Twitter at Adam C. Moreno. Follow Kit, if you would, at Kit Cabello. And on Rumble, please follow Mike at No Soundbites Allowed. All right, so I keep going, guys.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think, Adam, you highlighted well that Trump has created a series of, it's not that the umbrellas are new. He's put a focus on them that wouldn't otherwise be there. And that's part of what a good businessman does. He has his subsidiaries. He has his different divisions and different departments that all work together under the one umbrella of the corporation to get the thing out there. One of the big things has been, we've heard it from day one in 2016, MAGA, make America great again, America first. Well, what's America first? Hearing Americans speak up, to exercise their First Amendment rights, to say what they do and do not agree with the way the establishment and entertainers have been trying to run America, and they've been running it to the ground.
Hold on, Mike, is this because of a cult of personality? Is that what it is? Did the cult of personality, is that what brought it together?
Well, no. It's not a cult of personality. Yes, Trump has a strong personality. Absolutely.
Yeah, he does. He does have a cult. I mean, there are people who are diehard.
There are.
Donald Trump. I mean, they do exist.
You know what?
That also exists on both sides.
You name the president, and
but hold on. There's a difference, though. Hold on one second, guys. There's a difference.
Yeah.
That there's a cult of. There is a cult of Trump.
Sure.
There was a cult of Obama.
Yeah.
There's no cult of Harris.
There's just
I'll
give you that.
The cult of Harris was manufactured, and what that is the K-Hive, which is what came out after during the 2020 primaries, because people were so excited to have Biden have a VP. Originally, it was going to be Klobuchar, and then it came Kamala Harris, who had absolutely nothing, but that was a manufactured cult.
Correct.
And what we saw in Chicago was nothing more than a fake cult. What that was people having copium. Because I mean, if we could talk about the DNC convention, that whole entire ordeal was nothing but manufactured hype that died over the weekend because what happened over the weekend after the DNC convention?
Okay.
This is no debate. RFK Jr. endorsed Donald Trump, and then Tulsi Gabbard also endorsed Donald Trump. And
Right.
and
Took
look,
all the wind out of her.
to the Democrats' credit, I mean, they're saying that Kamala Harris lifted her foot off the gas pedal. So there is no debate about what happened over that weekend following the DNC convention. What we see with Kamala is non-existent. It's manufactured, and everybody's already seeing the fact that it is a fake machine. It is a fake hologram. It is nothing more than a hologram. It is the Great Wizard of Oz. Kamala Harris being hyped up as this end-all, be-all politician is non-existent. Now, does Trump have the same thing? Yeah, sure. But Kamala is 100% fake because what did Kamala fight for? She fought for nothing. She was the least. She had the lowest approval rating as a vice president in U.S. history.
Kit, spit, and fire.
And she hemorrhaged 40 of her campaign people who are not campaigning part of her administration.
Kit, I'm usually the one blowing up, but you're not wrong, Kit. Not at all. There is absolutely nothing substantive in Kamala. She has 3 talking points. She keeps going through them.
Unburdened by what has been.
Yeah, she's had her 3 talking points, and she's
also from a middle class family.
In middle school.
I didn't know that.
Larry.
And she has Donald Orange Man Bad. That's it. That's her entire campaign. But here's the thing: Trump is different because he is substantive, and his substance is primarily making America great through the people, by waking them up, by getting them involved. He has. Is there a cult behind that? There's a cult behind most of, again, you said Obama, most of the presidents in recent history have had that. But the difference here is it's Trump reminding people that America can and that America will. That's the big thing. That's the thing, that it's our freedom that has always been the most important. And he is stuck primarily to that in returning power to the states, like Roe. Put it back in the state.
Yeah, but that wasn't helpful.
There is a problem with the whole idea with Trump, especially if we look at his first term, because the issue with Trump is that he surrounded himself with people of the Bush Cheney administration. And when people walked in, and wait. But when he walked into the White House and he had those people like John Bolton and everybody else of the Bush Cheney administration, they all thought it was going to be Pence is going to be running the show, and Trump is going to be a good little boy and listen to what they're saying, because they thought it was going to be like Dick Cheney with Bush Jr. But they were all part of the establishment, which explains why, again, the Keebler elf. Why am I forgetting his name? The Keebler elf guy. No. He looked like a Keebler elf. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he was the attorney general.
Yeah, the attorney general. Yeah, that jagoff.
Yes.
Oh God! Now I can't remember.
And he recused himself when he recused himself. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, okay. So while we are forgetting the name of the Keebler elf, I mean, that guy had the audacity to come after states. Yeah, no, it wasn't Merrick Garland.
No, it wasn't Garland.
But he had the audacity to come after states that legalized cannabis, especially during the Trump administration. And Trump wasn't even going to follow through with it because that guy had a hard-on coming after Jeff Sessions. Thank you, anti-corporate.
That's it.
Thank you.
Jeff Beauregard Sessions III. That was his name. My brain is working. Jeff Beauregard Sessions III. One of the Keebler elf wanted to go after states for states' rights, and Trump wasn't going to go along with it. But everyone who was part of his administration were people in or associated with the Bush-Cheney administration, and they thought it'd be the same. And that's my biggest criticism of Trump, is that he surrounded himself with all those jagoffs. But again, that also shows that Trump thought that those people were good for the job because he listened to people who said, like, yeah, they're good. Yes, they'll listen to you. But he also had Pence right there, too, at his side, which I hope, again, which to your point, hold on, let me finish this point, where if there is a possibility, and again, I hope that there is that window of opportunity of maybe a Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., maybe whispering in his ear, maybe, or is it having some prevalence? Maybe it can expand Trump's mindset of having people in there that can actually do the job. Because how did Trump fail? He had everybody being a whistleblower. in his administration and undermining him, and also giving more fuel for the Democrats to cause all the crap that we are in now, especially with the Biden-Harris administration.
Okay, well, let's. The reason for that is because he is inexperienced. He's not a politician, but
he should know better because he's given money to these politicians.
Now he does, and therefore, because he knows better and he has a better outlook on what he wants to, what it will take to make America great again, he has brought in people like RFK, like Tulsi, people that he wasn't talking to before, that no one was talking to before, and he's brought them out of the black hole of the news media and actually put them up front with a spotlight.
Okay,
now, Adam, you can tell me if you think I'm right or wrong about this.
This is what I want to bring up on this. I get what you guys are saying, but my whole point about this is I'm trying to get back to the point of it seems still like too. Here's my example. Yesterday, down at the Rescue the Republic, there's all these people there, but not one person from the Trump campaign. Not Vance, not Trump, not anyone from them, not even old school, not even Pence. Nobody. It's like this is the whole new crew. I would take anybody, Mike. I'd take anybody. I'd take fucking Pence. I don't care. I'd take anybody. There was nobody from like the Trump people that showed up. And that is why I'm saying, is this real?
But he doesn't need them.
Is it not?
Here's the thing.
No, Trump would need those people. Yeah, he would. He would.
Yes, he would.
Here's the thing. Because he doesn't need that right now. Right now, he needs to be out in the battleground states, and JD Vance better be preparing for the debate tomorrow on CBS, which will be a crap show, guaranteed.
We're not there. Don't walk down that road, Mike.
It's going to be horrible. But what he needed to do is to be out, and his subordinates are out doing what they're supposed to be doing. Notice he isn't correcting them. He's not corralling them. He doesn't have them on a leash. He isn't trying to silence them. He's letting them do what they do best, like a good CEO. Here's my job is to point in this direction, and your job is to do what you do best.
Yeah, hold on. Adam, you got to help me on this.
America great. Adam, tell me what
he's saying. Listen what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're talking the trash of a unity ticket. That's what you're talking. You're not talking about my guys are good, separate. Blah, blah, blah. That's not what you're talking. You're talking unity ticket.
Okay, that is a unity
ticket. Hold on. I'm not seeing unity in this. Adam, you were on the RFK train before. Do you see unity or not? Mike was always on the Trump train. You were on the RFK Jr. train. Are you seeing unity or am I wrong on this?
I am seeing unity, but I do also see hesitation. But the more that we see Kennedy and Tulsi do these events, I saw Peterson there. I saw Russell Brand there, right? The more we see that, especially with Trump and Vance's names on in the background, all these clips getting shared, getting millions of views, the less hesitation people have moving forward, because they're expanding on these ideas, they're expanding on these values. And I'd also like to bring up, they're offering a new perspective that's on the menu that's underneath Trump, right? They're offering new perspectives that people didn't really align with Trump. Right. But now they are, right now that's existing, and people are actually able to make that association. And I don't think that was happening before. Whenever Kennedy was doing his own campaign, it was great. It was fantastic. People loved it. But at the end of the day, it didn't reach the critical masses needed to actually make any impact. And that's why he jumped. But now, and I brought this up on my channel before, but it's a quote from Glenn Powell. Whenever he didn't want to do the Top Gun movie, because he wanted to be Rooster. He wanted to be one of the lead guys. But instead, he didn't get offered that role. He got offered the role of Hangman. And he didn't know if he wanted to do it. And then Tom Cruise convinced him. How? Because he asked him, what kind of career do you want? And Glenn Powell said, I want to be you. I want to be you. He's like, how do you do that? You choose great roles. Of course, you choose great roles. And he's like, no. You choose great movies, and then you make the roles great. Because being part of something larger,
very good.
Being part of something larger,
a
smaller role is more beneficial than being the large piece of something small.
Yeah.
So now,
Okay.
now, and we've been
1977.
seeing this.
1977. I'll be some commander on the Star Wars, ship. I'm happy because I'm in Star Wars, so I'm happy to be commander on some Star Wars ship. It's Captain Sharpe, and I get two lines. My lines are yes, sir, and aye, sir. That's all my lines I get, and I'm good.
But wait, hold on, Larry. I don't mean to take away your thunder away from you, but adding more into it. If we look at the expanded universe before Disney bought Star Wars, that character saying "Yes, sir," and I'll follow that order probably gets a whole book series about him and has more influence because that's when people actually wrote about characters and actually gave a damn about lore. So in other words, there you go.
Because he gets to be on the stage. He's there next to Darth Vader, and maybe he even gets choked out by Darth Vader. And everyone goes, why did Darth Vader pick that guy? And now we want to pay attention because he put the spotlight on that little guy that no one knew. What Nita? It was Captain Nita got elevated. Why?
To Admiral. Wait. Grand Admiral. He got voted to Grand Admiral.
And everybody knows when I say Nita, you know who I'm talking about. Why? Because Vader put the spotlight on that one little guy. And using that same analogy, that's what we're seeing with the Trump campaign right now to different parts of America. And I'm not saying that everyone loves him. I'm not saying that he's doing it perfect. I'm not saying that everyone's getting heard equal or that they'll have the same result that they want. But now they're there. Yeah. They're in the spotlight. And that means you have the potential in the future. That's something we haven't seen in America in decades. And it's definitely, and we're hearing from them, they don't want it to be. The establishment does not want that.
Let me grab some comments. Rick is a member. Thank you.
Oh, we got lots of comments. People are.
Yeah, I know we do. I know we do.
I love it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Joseph, another member. Thank you. Sharpe for president. That would be amazing. Not this year, but maybe it could happen. You never know.
Someday, not today.
Someday. Absolutely. Someday, not today. Yes. One day it will happen. We hope at least. Peace Logic. How are you, sir? Hello, everyone. Looking forward to the show. Definitely familiar with Adam. He's great. You have fans here, Adam. Look at you.
All right, Adam. Moving on up.
There you go.
Most important thing. Alexa, also a member. Thank you. I'm with Larry on this. No pizza cake, please. So by default,
how dare you? That's violence. Alexa,
that's violence.
That is violence, and you are canceled. I will do a protest a mile long.
That's very good. That is very good. So I wanted to grab a couple of if I could, I wanted to grab a couple of people who are members. Lunatic Libertarian in the house. Glad you are here, sir. Always happy you're here. So let me grab some other comments if I could. Mr. Shadow says he had to drop out because the Democratic Party kept keeping him in court about ballots, so he couldn't campaign and couldn't be on certain ballots.
I can understand why he did it.
I see that, but you go ahead. Kit, you touched this one. Go ahead.
Well, okay. So look, I mean, obviously Larry, you know about this. The problem that third parties and independents have to face at the ballot level, at the state level, at the federal level, in regards to being on the debate stage. Now, listen, if you're a diehard Republican or diehard Democratic voter, you should have no problem with a third party candidate debating your guy or gal on a debate stage, because if you're confident in them, then you should think right off the bat, they have what it takes for a left hook, right hook. But what we are seeing here is a bipartisan effort by the two-party system to do everything they can to convince the American people that third parties are never the option. And in Illinois and in New York, our states are very draconian, 100%. Larry, towards libertarians, towards Greens, towards socialists, towards independents who want to be running for county, city, or state level or federal level offices. And so RFK Jr., running as a third-party candidate was a threat to the Democrats, and the Democrats were afraid of him. And now, surprise, surprise, in certain key swing states like Michigan, for example, they're saying, he doesn't have to get off the ballot now. Because he endorsed Trump. Because, wow, what a surprise. I thought you guys had a hard-on to get rid of third parties and independents. But no, you don't. So which one is it, Democrats? Is Jill Stein the oogie boogie boogie monster?
She is now. Have you seen that?
The libertarian, the monster?
Have you seen this? Hold on, kid.
And then RFK Jr. And then RFK Jr. He is okay. He said he's endorsing Trump and he's removing himself from key battleground swing states. And yet the Democrats are saying, "Oh no, he can't go now."
Fire breathing alligator, chill. What I'm saying here is, did you see they're now beating up on Jill Stein? The Democrats have moved targets now.
I've been covering that on my show. Yes, and the thing is now what's happening? You have Democrats shaming Arab and Muslim voters for saying, well, how dare the Arab and Muslim voters support Jill Stein when Kamala Harris isn't doing a goddamn thing to stop about the crisis in Gaza? I saw what happened in Chicago. The uncommitted voters, the uncommitted movement, wanted to endorse Kamala, and yet they were there, kicked out of the United Center in Chicago, home to Chicago Blackhawks and the Chicago Bulls. And what did the Democratic Party do to the uncommitted group? Go outside and shut up.
Yes.
Go outside and shut up. Yeah, and I'm supposed to be like, well, wait a minute. Oh, no, poor Arab and Muslim vote. Well, gee, maybe there's a reason why Arab and Muslim voters are supporting Jill Stein and the Green Party. So no, it's fine, because the thing is, when you look at the uncommitted movement, the leadership is still childish enough to believe that the Democrats give a damn what they think, like an abusive partner. And the thing is, I think we've all seen our fair share of people who have been in abusive relationships, and you could say, hey, look, this person you're with is hitting you, cheating on you, stealing your money, but he loves me, or she loves me, and it's like, okay, you can lead a horse to water, you can't force it to drink. Then shut up, uncommitted. But it's not my fault that the rest of Arab and Muslim voters want to support Jill Stein.
Let me get a super chat real fast. Peace Logic says, thank you for the $5, brother. The main issues are nuclear war, free speech, chronic disease, and border. Trump and RFK win on this. The vote is simple. Well, that's kind of what you're saying, Adam. Isn't that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people do feel that way, especially in terms of the independents and the moderates. Right, because those people, they're not really too much fond of the fandoms or the cults, and at the end of the day, they do look at policy. And I think Kennedy, Trump, they just have the better policies, right? They have the better force that actually pushes things forward.
Wendy's on your side. Wendy says, "I like Kennedy. I just may bite for Trump because of it. Just what he is describing." I think, Adam, I think the audience is on your side here.
Well, I think there's a lot of people remember, 45% of America isn't Republican or Democrat. And another 40% of America aren't third parties either. So, I mean, the majority of people are looking for what we're starting to see. And I think this is good for third parties. And I agree with you, Kit. I do believe I want the extra voices up there, because I do think that many of my candidates, or in my party, the Republican Party, are the best voices. They have the best idea for the future, but they're not perfect. And they don't have all the ideas. And we do need to hear those different ideas, those different voices in those different directions that maybe, let's tweak the plan a little bit. Maybe there's a piece of this idea or that idea that come from the third parties or from someone completely different that make it a little bit better. Let's have that conversation. And we're starting to get there. And it may not be enough for what many of the third parties were hoping for, what many of the independents were hoping for. But these things, the establishment has a stranglehold on everything right now. So it's hard. America is a great giant. We make huge strides when we walk, but it takes a while for us to take that step.
So hold on, Adam, do you want to put this on front? Is that why you put this out, Adam?
Yeah. So exactly. So this is a poll that I put on my channel. My channel reaches a lot of Kennedy supporters, and I've made similar polls like this in the past, but I think overwhelmingly it suggests that more people because this is primarily, RFK Jr. supporters, right? And more people still choose Trump more than Kamala. This is
by a lot,
almost 5,000 votes, right? And if you look at the comments, it's not that these people are necessarily for Trump, right? Like, I wish RFK Jr. was still running, Kennedy, but at the end of the day, in terms of who they're going to vote for, I think they still feel way more represented with Trump than Kamala. And I think it's really telling. So this is what I suspect happening in terms of the moderates and in terms of the independents. Obviously, there's still going to be a lot of people who are upset that, their third party person isn't running. But when it comes down to that moment, that decision in November, I think they're going to see.
I think if Kennedy had kept running, I think Kennedy could have easily picked up. Oh, sorry. That Kennedy could have easily got, if he had kept running, easily gotten 8, 10, 12 million votes. He could have done it. Okay. I think, to your point, he will still get 1 million votes anyway. 1 million people will be like, I don't care. I'm voting RFK anyway. I think he's still going to get about 1 million votes or more. I think he still will.
I think you're right. But the reason why I wanted you to keep it up there, because I did see this in the comments, and just in case, for people who can't see what's on the screen right now for whatever reason, in the poll, which is if the 2024 presidential election was held today, who would you vote for? This was from 3 weeks ago. And this is Adam's poll that he did, unofficial, 4,700 people. 53% were down. Huh?
I said fantastic. 4,000 people tuning in.
Yeah, that's more than some of the polls that we have from the professional
Absolutely. 100%. Like 4 times.
Yeah. Yes. So Donald Trump has 53%. Kamala Harris in the poll has 4%. RFK, Jill Stein, and Dr. Cornel West has 43%. So just in case people weren't able to see that or they weren't familiar with it, I wanted to make sure they understood that even from when you step away from the establishment, where America is very different than what you're seeing on the nightly news. There is a big difference. And I think that it goes to, and I think Adam agrees with me on this, that we are seeing that coalition, that network, that it is a unity of difference. It is exactly what America is supposed to be. A bunch of different ideas.
I'm agreeing with you. But this is why I think that Trump, because Trump's a big personality, right? That means he's easy to love and easy to hate, right? Mm-hmm. Big personalities are easy to love and easy to hate. And he gets a lot. It's very rare that people say, yeah, he's all right. Most people go, love that guy, or man, hate that guy. It's rare you get someone kind of in the middle, right? It's rare. It happens, but it's rare. And I think to the point, there was people now talking about the idea that the Republican Party is becoming the party of the people who just aren't Democrats.
People have been saying that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Just not Democrats. I feel like people are talking about that.
Wait. So when we look at the idea of what the Democratic Party has become, let's be clear, especially under the Biden-Harris administration. The Biden-Harris administration has shown us nothing but utter contempt in regards to continuing with cancel culture and the suppression and the ongoing effects of Trump derangement syndrome. Do I see the Republican Party being the party of working class people? Absolutely not. No. I would say our option is either independent or third party. We have to look at the alternative, not as saying, okay, well, the Republicans are going to be it. No, because both parties work together to suppress third parties and independents. And as far as I'm concerned, Team Red and Team Blue can both get the middle finger because they can. Now, to be clear here, again, Trump's continuing surge of support does come from the failures of the fact that Biden and Harris did contribute to the ongoing downfall of our economy, which is the front and center issue. It is not we have the wars right now distracting people, but the one issue, the major issue that's not being talked about, especially what's going to happen on Tuesday if there's a potential strike in New York and New Jersey with the ports and the strikes, it's going to be, always will be, the economy. So Trump is able to capitalize on populist message, but also we have to look at his failures too, because what helped Trump? He had people like Steve Bannon helping him along. Right now, Trump has this momentum, but he doesn't have people to help focus the energy. It's all over the place, which again leads to my point. Especially on election night, it's going to be 50-50. Whoever can bring out the most people to turn out to vote, it's either going to be Trump or Kamala. The most people to turn out to vote is who's going to succeed the presidency. And again, it's going to be who's going to motivate who the most.
Not quite. But let me also remind you, what I think the Republican Party has the potential to evolve into is that it has the potential to evolve into where the front runner is, like you said, Larry, big personalities. They get all the attention, they get all the hate, and they get all the love. But you know what that also does? It lets everyone else do their job. It lets everyone else focus on their thing. So people aren't trying to trash RFK anymore about the various stories from decades ago. They're talking about make America healthy again because they're busy saying Orange Man bad. They're not focused on trying to tear him down as much. And so he gets, so that's why Tulsi gets to talk about free speech and Matt Taibbi get to talk about free speech and how we can't let the establishment which dominates the Democratic Party that are telling us, I mean, John Kerry, he's former Secretary of State, former senator. He's currently the czar for environmentalism under the Biden-Harris administration. He's as establishment as you get. And he's telling us that they're going to get rid of the First Amendment. This is the alternative. I mean, that's your choice right now.
Hold on.
And does that evolve into third parties eventually becoming their own thing? It can. It may not. But
hold on. I want to bring up the most important piece here, right?
I know there's a couple of chats.
The Republican Party becoming the party of the workers. It isn't right now at all. But is it?
No.
Is there a potential? I think Mike is right. There is a potential for it to happen, but it's not there. And here's my example of this. Right now, the Democratic Party has become the party of educated women. This is why they had the teachers union back them and all that. Their educated women are what they focus on. That's their focus group. That's who they're looking to be. Educated women. Educated women actually vote more than anybody else. They are by percentage. They vote the highest. That's who they are. So that's why I'm saying that a lot of the cop unions, the firefighter unions, they all went Trump. But the actual labor unions this year, if you remember, many of them just said, we're doing nothing because they're thinking the Republican Party isn't really that. They don't know. And I think they're right.
Well,
wait. Going to be. Let me finish that point. When Trump goes away, whether he loses this election or 4 years from now, whenever he goes away, the Republican Party is going to have a real come to Jesus moment with itself. And if it does the right thing, it has a chance of becoming a party of the workers, or they'll go right back to their old way of doing this. They'll be Bush Cheney 2.0, whatever. Well, and I think that'll be the key. What will happen when Trump is gone?
We've already passed that point, but I know there's a couple of super chats there, so I don't want to take away from the super chats.
Right.
But we have already turned. The Republican Party has already been making that change.
Yeah.
How effectively or not is a different question. But I know there's a couple of super chats.
Wait. There's one other thing here I want to add in here, and that is look, Trump can capitalize on populist movement, but does that speak for the entire Republican Party? No. Okay. Because again, he embarrassed them not once, but twice, but 3 times in 3 different Republican primaries. And in the third one, he didn't have to show up. But the thing is, the Republican Party wants to do everything they can to diminish the idea of what Trump did.
That's true. The establishment hates
a whole undercurrent of Republicans rising up that are different than the establishment.
But But the thing is, there are the quote unquote rules, and I'm not in support of it, but I'm saying that there are the rules of how politics are played in America. I don't support that, but there is that idea.
You're right.
Now Trump is somebody who's just walked right on in. Is he the effective tool? Absolutely not. He is just walking chaos. But there
you gave a 1% kit. That's something, I guess.
I know. But there is the idea of, dare I say it, the American people looking at this election cycle, especially in 2024, and realizing we cannot fall into the same trap in 2028, which is why now is the need for citizen ballot initiatives, the need for the movement for third parties, and the official breakaway from the third party system. Because if Trump is to be reelected, there is a potential, instead of a full rounded gun, a 6-shooter, boom, 6-shooter. Instead of playing Russian roulette with 6 shots, you get the Russian roulette with 5 shots, okay? And the thing is, 1 empty chamber. And the thing is, there is no difference, okay? Because then Trump is the 6-shooter with 5 shots. Kamala is the full unloaded 6-shooter, right? Wait. But hear me out. It's the idea of, okay, there is a possibility in which I know, but hear me out. But there is a possibility that if there is this opening, however unlikely, in which people can capitalize under a real movement of a change, it could be under a potential Trump administration. Again, I'm not saying it's the end all be all things, because again, Trump is no different to me than Kamala. But if there are people that really want to stay focused on building a better future and breaking the 2-party system, we have to look at the end game after 2024 and how we can capitalize on the ground. And the thing is,
that's what I'm saying. You have to once Trump goes away, we got to decide. There'll be a decision to be made.
But my fear is with the Kamala, though, I don't think we're going to get that opportunity.
Oh, I guarantee you won't. I guarantee you won't. But I know there's super chats. There's a few of them, and I love this, folks. We can barely keep up with the chat. Love you guys in the audience.
Let me do a couple of these. Peace Logic, thank you for the $5. The main issues are he did it one. Sorry, wrong. Got that one already. Lunatic Libertarian, sorry, thank you for the $10. Mass loss of life, the poke, yes, that was a big deal. Mass distraction, yes. Propaganda, yes. Hitting them all, lunatic. Loss of trust in all systems allows restructure, but what will be the outcome? Communism, globalism, World War, Civil War. This is my point, right? I think whenever someone of a big personality goes away, whether it's voluntarily, whether he loses an election, that's when there's a scramble for what's next, right? That's when there's a scramble.
When there's
yes, exactly. And a scramble. And I'm hoping that out of that, Kit is right. I hope Kit's correct. I hope whenever Trump goes away, people go, you know what? I'm not happy with whoever takes over the Republican Party, whoever that person is. We need something else. We need third party. We need blah, blah, blah. I'm hoping Kit is correct. But that's
but that is
worry.
Happening.
It's not happening.
Wait a minute. That is happening because we are seeing it in local races across this country. I talk to the Republicans on a regular basis. I talk to the candidates that are out there right now. I do a lot of interviews with people that no one else will touch. And I can tell you, there are people who are stepping up in the Republican Party who are America first. A lot, they get denigrated for this because they're MAGA, they're America first. They're regular people who are stepping up and saying, yeah, I want to give this a try. Now, the hard part is we have to cultivate them, because we all know most candidates will run once and will never run again because 100%. It sucks. And we all know that personally. But guess what? That culture is there. The key is that we have to just encourage them, and I think we're seeing that to an extent, and it can be better. Kit's right, it can be better. We can encourage it more.
Hold on, that's where you're right. Let me keep going down this road here. What we are seeing is people like, as an example, Dan Osborne in Nebraska. Guy is running as an independent because Nebraska is so red that you can't bother running a Democrat there because you can't raise the money, you can't win. Or like Evan McMullen, who ran last time for Senate in Utah. Deep red state, you can't bother, you're not gonna be able to run a Democrat, you can't raise the money, you can't win, so you start running independent. The question is, will there be a reasonable independent movement? And to be forward, I don't believe that all of a sudden 4 years from now independents control the House, right? I don't believe that at all, right? But no, even if we just
one can dream.
Yes, but even if we just had four independents in the Senate, that would change how the Senate works. If we just had a couple of assemblies that had a bunch of independents in it, I think independents move. And this is to your point, Adam. And I think you're right on this. Kind of to your point too, Mike. The idea that having an RFK and a Tulsi in the Trump administration does by default move the administration, right? By default, it moves them. So having the independent mindset, having the independent voice does move the parties. It does, and that's the goal. I want the parties to move if they can. I'd rather have it actual independence, but I'll take a movement first, right? I'll take that piece first, and I think we are having some of that. But my point is, if what Trump is obviously a huge part of this message. Clearly, it's obvious he is, right? When he goes away, I think that's what Lunatic's talking about. When that's gone, does it end with a massive backlash to communism?
No.
Does it end with a massive opening to globalism? Does it end it with a world? What does it end with civil? What does it end with? I think is his question. more than anything else. Does that make sense? I think that's what he's asking. And my gut is.
Well, wait.
The Democrat side. I don't see that in the Republican. I don't see that because there is a change. We saw that in 2010. The Tea Party was too soon. We saw that with the Freedom Caucus too soon. We're seeing it now, and I think it's actually getting the grass has grown roots, and we're starting to see that.
I know what I'm smelling.
Let Adam respond to that.
Okay, I'm smelling bullshit. That's not too soon. That's not too soon.
Go ahead. Shoot Adam.
Sorry.
I think what's happening, if Trump actually gets in the White House, what I think is RFK Jr., Tulsi, these conversations that are happening right now, they will eventually materialize into something that could happen after a vacuum is created after Trump leaves in 2028, right? So the question is, what happens after that vacuum is opened, right? Because there's going to be a suction, right? There's going to be large exposure. So I think, and Trump talks a lot about legacy these days. He wants to leave behind a valuable legacy. And I think we're seeing that now. We're not seeing it, in 2025, 2026, 2027. We're seeing it right now. He's already lifting up these people. He's already elevating these conversations. So what I think is happening is these conversations will eventually materialize into more Senate seats. They will materialize into more independents, because now it's like, oh my gosh, wait, there's other parties. I thought this was a two-party system.
Yeah, well,
but now conversations are materializing through this team.
I'm glad you brought up legacy, because we have to look at legacy. Now, the thing is, look, we have all four of us, and even all of our contemporaries in independent media, commentary, all of that. We have a social responsibility to inform our audience of truth to power, but also more importantly of hey, look, if we give an endorsement to a candidate, that means we also carry that bullshit along with us. And the thing is, look, when we look at a Trump presidency, let's say Trump were to succeed, and let's say he would have RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard maybe help select his staff, maybe potentially, however unlikely. I don't see them being part of his next administration, because that's not going to happen. But if that were to happen, okay, maybe we could talk about a time after Trump. But the thing is, there's always the question of legacy. And when we look at legacy, this is where nations and empires are at a crossroad. Do we decline, or do we try and build a future in which we change things? Okay, because right now we are Rome. And I've had this conversation with Russell from Due Dissidence. Will we end like Western Rome or Eastern Rome? And for those who are familiar with history, know that the Eastern Roman Empire continued on. It had its downfall and then its resurgence. But the thing is, none of those two options are good. We have to look at option C, and that is, can the nation of the United States go on as a true constitutional republic? Because we're not a democracy.
I like that.
We are a constitutional republic. And as a constitutional republic, it is a social responsibility of our institutions, our Senate, our House, to ensure the rights of the people. And that is where, again, there has to be involvement of the American people to be involved, especially after Trump. But we have been trained so well by corporate media and the two-party system.
I understand that, but this is how we're breaking through that.
But again, it's not just Trump, because what happens under the 4 years,
Trump. I'm saying that it is Tulsi, it is RFK.
But it has to be bigger than Tulsi or RFK Jr. It has to be people besides that point. It has to be people who take on the banner. Who has to take on the banner? There are people that take on that banner.
Let me explain something.
To that. I mean, there was some people there yesterday. I mean, it wasn't like 100,000 people, but there were thousands and probably 10, 20,000 people there yesterday. There were a lot of people there, kid. It wasn't just those two. It was a lot.
I know.
And
Michael, finish your point.
Let me finish this part. I think because we've seen so much indoctrination for so many decades, because we have such an entrenched establishment, both on the right and on the left, and we have the news media that is completely forgotten its job. Look at CBS. The moderators are not going to fact check. And look at the bias we saw in the last time when they did fact check, which was on ABC. we know we can't trust them, which is why we've seen so much of a growth of people just like all four of us looking at everything from different ways, giving people the opportunity to find out information they wouldn't hear from any other source, and then to go and find out more for themselves. We are the vanguards that bring up the next generation, who will once again start having critical thought and will ask the questions and will make the challenges, because we have shown them that there is a beachhead and that we have broken through. But that's what we need this for. That's what this election can be. If we don't fail, we have to not stumble.
Right.
And that means staying on top of, and if Trump wins, it means staying on top of him to remind him that America first and MAGA means free speech first and foremost amongst everything else.
Wait. When we talk about free speech, because again, when we look under Trump administration, while again under Trump's watch, I will give this to Adam. Hold on, let me just finish this point here.
Yeah.
When we look under Trump, I mean, what was the key thing that was the end all, or is it at the beginning of the end for a lot of us in independent media, the canary in the coal mine? Under Trump, when we saw Alex Jones get censor suppressed, Julian Assange get arrested. Okay. I mean, these were things that happened under Trump. Adam, I'll give the floor to you.
What excites me is, I believe, like the volume of influence that we see in this team, right? Because I don't know why, but I'm imagining like how the Grand Canyon was carved. It wasn't that a single water drop makes a difference. It's that the volume of water makes a difference, right? And and with Larry Sharpe, you know, whenever we were having a conversation, we were talking about going through the wall. The people who go through the wall first get bloody, but then that hole is there, and it lets more volume of influence go through. And I'm always thinking about, in terms of like leadership, it's not necessarily the leader that's the most powerful, but it's the first follower of the leader, right? Because that first follower actually convinces the other people, oh, it's actually okay to think this way. And then it's the second follower goes through. Like, I don't know why, but I'm thinking about, you know, the scriptures and Jesus, and how Jesus needed Peter first.
Yeah, good point.
Jesus needed Peter first, and then
and
the rest
without
of the
Paul,
disciples.
we don't have Christianity the way we have it now. Totally right.
Exactly. So there's people who actually structure and lead these movements that create such a significant astronomical effect, and it just begins to compound. So yeah, it's just this team right now, but then it'll compound into something and materialize into something later in the future.
I'm glad you brought up the idea of like the Grand Canyon and the flood changing things, because and you know what, Larry, I will actually send you this link, but there is a series I watched called Fall of Civilization podcast, and there was one specific, it's a 2-part series about the Byzantine Empire. And early on, like the person talks, like the narrator talks about the Mediterranean, how there was the idea of the Zelenskyan flood. And what that was is there's a hypothesis that Spain and North Africa had a land bridge, and that over time the ocean would erode away, and then which led to the Great Zelenskyan Flood, which would create the Mediterranean Sea, which is this constant push that forever changed the foundations of the connections between Europe and North Africa. And that is a phenomenal. I'll have to send you the link because I
gotta do some super chat, guys. You're killing me.
We're having a great conversation.
Yeah, we are. Come on, Larry. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I appreciate it. A couple super chats. Peace out. Thank you for the $5, my friend. I spoke to the VA, Virginia RFK field director. They are no longer seeking 5%. He said it confused people, and 5% is not possible. Thoughts, Larry? Yes, that's true. They're not doing it anymore, and it's completely stupid and BS, and they should be doing it. Everything that he just told you is not true. It was not too confusing. That's bullshit. And it was 100% possible, totally possible, absolutely possible. If you're an RFK field director and you're listening now, you were lied to. You were lied to by the Trump people who just didn't. This is what actually happened. The Trump people don't want you getting 5%. Why? Because they hate Trump? No, not at all. They love Trump? No, not at all. It's all about money. Local GOP state parties want to raise money. And if they can't lie to you and say, this is the year that Trump's going to win, or this is the year, right? Whatever they're going to say. He's not winning in Delaware. He's not winning in Jersey. He's not winning in Massachusetts. But they will say he's going to win in those so they can get money from you. If they tell you to vote for RFK Jr., they can't raise money. That's why that actually happened, and it was silly.
That's a
They should have
backlash.
just gone for that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Yes.
Go ahead, Adam.
They could have done.
I do think I disagree a bit.
Tell me.
Just because, like I was covering all these things in real time and people were genuinely confused, right? People all across the board from so many different states, they were adamant about voting for Kennedy, regardless of what Kennedy was saying about like, oh, we can still get the 5%.
Yes.
If it's just don't vote for me in the battleground states, but all the other states do it. People weren't really. It wasn't.
Yes,
it wasn't
but all
settling
you
with
had
people.
to do, Adam, is literally say, "Here are the 7 battleground states." They never did any of that because they didn't want to. That's my point. It's not confusing. In other words, if I said, "Do you live in these 7 states?" Yes, vote Trump. You don't, vote Bobby. Done.
No,
Problem solved.
Adam's got a good
Could've
point
done that.
because for people who have been told your only choice is red or blue, done, they are confused because now it's again, these are people who've been indoctrinated to go straight down the line vote. I mean, they even have voting machines that have you just press one button and they'll vote automatically straight down the line for your party line. And you don't even know who the candidates are, which is that should be a wake-up call and a red flag for everyone in America saying something is wrong. You should never have a system that's built in that says, oh, I'll just automatically just go straight down the line for your party. That's evil. That's how you get a autocratic dictatorship. It's evil and not part of America.
Follow orders, political police knocking at the door.
Yes.
Obey everything. You will own nothing and be happy.
Yeah, right.
You will eat the bugs. So Peace Logic goes back another $5. Thank you. He goes, can we get Kennedy running for president in 2028 for Republican Party? I think that is a possibility of that. I think he will try to do that. I do think he'll try.
No, now it's Republican Party.
In a moment, hold on. Let me just give my point, then you guys can respond. My point is, I do think he will try. I think he absolutely can try. He'll have enough money to do it if he wants to. I think he absolutely can try if he wants to. My worry is, I don't think he can win the primary. I think it's impossible. I think he can run. I don't see him winning the primary. Just as my view. I could be wrong.
Let Adam go first before you and me, Kit, because
absolutely. Come on, Adam, you gotta speak. Come on.
So, an idea that I see happening maybe is Kennedy running again as an independent in 2028.
Ooh,
just because I don't think he's a Republican right now. I think he's still completely an independent. I think he knows that he's just supporting Trump and endorsing this movement.
I agree. That's why I don't think he can win a Republican primary. I think he should run independent if he runs again. I think opinion, if he runs again, I think he should run independent, but I think he would easily try to run Republican the same way he tried Democrat last time, then couldn't do it, and then went independent. If he does it, I think he'll try Republican this time, not win the primary and go independent. That's my gut. But go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
So I know, Kit, this is one of the few times me and Kit, well, not one of the few ones, but this is one point where Kit and I agree. He's not going to run Republican. You're right, Adam. He's not a Republican. He's a Democrat. Let's be flat out honest. He's a Democrat, but he's running as an independent because he's been disowned by Democrats and they will never take him back.
Never.
He can't go there. So he's always going to be running as an independent.
Let me add a little more to this.
Republicans will not take him. They will not accept him as a Republican. His policies are not Republican. They're not even really conservative. He's not I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm not saying every idea he has is absolute trash, but most of them are. But what I will say is that if he goes in front of a Republican crowd, I don't care what primary he's going to try and get into, he is not going to get that wave. He'll never make it onto the stage because he will not get that support. It doesn't matter how much money he puts into it. Not because he's a bad person, not because I think I don't think he's dumb. It's just his principles do not match, and that is a non-starter. But Kit, what do you think?
Okay, so first of all, again, RFK Jr., let's say he were to run as a Republican primary. Number one, that's not going to happen because, again, he comes from the Democratic Party. He is from a dynastic Democratic family. And the reason why RFK Jr. did what he did is because it is abundantly clear that the nutless one, the cuck, the heartless, spineless bullshitter Bernie Sanders could never see is that the DNC rigs the game. Look, hey, listen, we're going to talk about Bernie. Right, Bernie is a cuck. a spineless, heartless, nutless wonder. And the thing is, it is abundantly clear, if you weren't paying attention, the DNC convention made it clear that Biden was their guy until Biden had a senile moment with Trump and where they anointed Kamala. So RFK Jr. saw that a million miles ahead and said, okay, I'm going to run as an independent. That was his FU to the Democratic Party. And his second FU to the Democratic Party was endorsing Trump after Kamala's ascension at the DNC convention here in Chicago in August. So any kind of potential of RFK Jr. running in 2028, it's not going to be as a Republican primary. He's not going to do that. Could he run as an independent if he lays down the foundations for the next 4 years, like what the Green Party and Libertarians should have done in 2016? Then yes, as an independent, not Democrat, not Republican, because RFK Jr. sure as hell is not. Listen, there's a snowflake falling into Vulcan's forge that has a better chance of becoming the Republican nominee than RFK Jr. Okay, very simple as that.
I agree, but I still think he'll do it anyway. I think he will do it anyway. He'll just try Republican anyway. I think both of you are correct, and he will go, I'm gonna do it anyway. That's what I think he will do.
He has a bad team behind him because that's not the way to use his money.
Yes. Yes.
Hire me, dude, because I'll tell you, that's not the way to go.
I would, in fact, if you're trying Republican, I would hire Mike. I think that's a good point. Yes, please hire Mike. 100%. Yes. All right. Yes. Sarah says, thank you for the $5. California is the only state officially keeping Kennedy on the ballot. Some of us are voting RFK to support Shanahan. Everyone else I'm talking to is Trump. I've seen that too. I think Sarah's right. I've seen people in certain states, like people who like Shanahan or someone else, saying, I don't care. We're voting to keep a party. We want Shanahan to run for governor. I'm hearing that kind of stuff also. So that's what I'm saying. He's going to get at least 1 million votes anyway, no matter what he says. There are hardcore RFK Jr. supporters who are like, we don't care. We're voting for him no matter what.
Well, I think Sarah's a little bit wrong because Wisconsin, the Supreme Court just said that he has to be on. He's going to be on the ballot in Wisconsin. So California isn't the only state. There are several states.
Yeah, he's right now on, I think, 31 states now total. I think he's on 31 states, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So I'm not taking away from her point, but I want to make sure people are well informed that no, he is out there. He is on ballots. People do have that option to vote for him if they think that that's the best thing to do.
But so I do think she's validating my point. I think he's going to get at least 1 million votes anyway. Like no matter what Trump says, no matter what he says, there are hardcore people like, no, we're voting for him. We don't care.
He can get about 3%. I wouldn't be surprised if he got about 3% of
that. I'd be amazed.
He didn't do it right to get 5%, but I could see him somewhere between 1 and 3, probably closer to 2.5. He has enough momentum to get that much. I think.
I don't see even 2%. I don't see even 2%.
No, I think he could. I think
maybe, but
wait. Let's also look at how unprecedented this election cycle is right now, because let's be clear here. There's a lot of stuff that's happening, and again, I'm going to speak from idealism, and there's no facts in idealism, but in regards to what I've seen in regards to the coverage of third parties, I have never seen this amount of coverage in Spotlight from 2016. Even from 2020 in regards to what third parties can do this election cycle. And there is a possibility, however unlikely, in which the Greens and Libertarians could capitalize on the coveted 5%. Michael, you're shaking your head.
No,
but wait.
Not possible.
Wait. Whoa. Wait a minute. There is a growing disdain of of the two-party system. I will not dismiss the fact that you guys are correct that, I don't see it happen. I'm speaking from idealism. So there you go. I'm saying ideally, there is the possibility of voter turnout supporting potentially Greens and Libertarians of getting enough votes to shake the foundations of this political election cycle. But even then, voter turnout, even if they don't get that 5%, the growth of third parties and independents, because people are growing disdain and have open disdain for Republicans and Democratic politicians.
Let me ask Adam something, because Adam,
you have that happening. 1 second, Mike. 1 second. I just remember one piece if I could. I agree with you completely. What I'm saying is, if RFK Jr. wanted to get the 5%, they had to start that process right when he endorsed Trump. If they would have, I think he absolutely
didn't.
could have. That was a possibility without question. He could have got 5%. If he had started at that point and said, hey, I'm on these 7. Let me now start a communication campaign to tell people what states to vote for me in and what to vote for Trump in, 5% was doable. At this point, they're pulling themselves off the ballots. They're not. He's saying no. The team is beginning to collapse. I don't see it at all at the moment. That was what I'm going to bring up. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask Adam, because you're the youngest one here. And so looking at your generation, you and your generation, before this election, did you ever think there was a third party that you would ever vote for? And if you see in this election, if you see all the third parties, RFK, put them all together, and they come out with, let's call it 4%.
Yeah.
All of them. That's Jill, that's West, that's everybody. Put them all together. Chase Oliver, put them all together. They come out with 3-4%. Would you be encouraged to continue to vote for third parties? So before and after, from the youngest person's voice.
I remember in high school just learning about all this stuff, learning about the wide variety of parties. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. I remember taking a test and I remember I got mixed results. One of the tests told me I was a libertarian. Another one told me I was a liberal. Another one told me I was an independent. Right.
Libertarian. You're mine now. Got you. Mine now. You can't have him, Mike. You can't have him. He's mine.
I'll get him. This is a matter of time. Go ahead.
And this was 2016. So we were also seeing Trump and Clinton. And I was just so fascinated because after I graduated, I was just looking at who the media was actually elevating. And there were no independents, there were no libertarians. It was overwhelmingly just a two-party system. So things flipped between what I was learned and what the reality actually is. So do I hope that there's a reality that actually elevates independence in a meaningful way? Absolutely. And I was completely committed to voting for RFK Jr., as were millions of people.
Yes.
And in terms of young people generally aren't interested in politics. And if they are, they're interested in it in a very surface level type of experience, which is fine. You know, if you're not interested, don't vote. Right. I think I'd prefer that. But if you are interested, I think people are overwhelmingly looking at Trump for answers, especially in young men who are around my age.
Jordan Peterson's a better choice there.
Yeah, you know,
let me grab a couple more super chats if I could. Sarah goes on to say, yes, RFK is on ballots, but Shanahan was just on Roseanne podcast, and the only state they want votes in is California because it will help her run in 2026 for governor. I agree. It's not a bad idea. If she's able, imagine if they get, say, 5% in California. That would be a lot of votes. I mean, that's how many, that's like 2 million votes in California, whatever. It's a lot of votes, whatever it is. And that would show her as a player for a 2026 run. If you could pull 5% in California, you're a player. At least now you got a shot at trying to, and California has that jungle primary. The top 2 go to the general, open primary, the top 2 going to the general. If she could get into, if the Democrats and the Republicans would break themselves up and she could slide herself into like 30% of the vote, which you get her top 2, I think that's not a bad idea.
You know, when we look at the idea of what this election will mean after 2024, we have to remember that the environment's going to be completely different. You know, it's just come to my attention that legislation that would have required tech firms to test artificial intelligence before release has been vetoed in California, thanks to the so incredible Gavin Newsom, because there's going to be a whole big change in regards to how we vote and look at politicians. And the thing is, I mean, look, Larry, all of us, Adam, you included, all of us, Michael, all of us were included in this. You know, we do news commentary and analysis. We give our perspective and points of view. But there's also going to be, especially in 2026 and then in 2028, the election cycles for those prospective elections. And the thing is, how the role of technology will play in, and also in regards to how people were responding to said economy and whatever policies will be implemented during these next 4 years. And so there is a level of uncertainty and potential of growth in which voters can use our powers. And dare I say it, there's situations in which our powers as voters will be suppressed. And we have to look at the big picture of what we do after 2024 to really make an impact. Because one thing to say, hey, we're going to run in 2026. Hey, I'm going to run in 2028. But during those 4 years after 2024, what does the environment look like? Because technology is going to be different. And look, Larry, the way we're talking to each other, I know it's not related, but when my grandfather was still alive and I first introduced him to Skype, and some of my family members were living in Japan, he was flabbergasted and shocked, like, wow, this is like from Star Trek. Imagine what we're going to see in between 2024 and 2028 in regards to technology and how it will affect our elections and politics and policies and social issues during those.
I gotta do commercial stuff. I gotta do some commercial stuff. All right, guys, if you like what you're seeing here, click the button known as like. Use any appendage you like. Nose, ear, eyeball. I don't care. Tongue. That's kind of nasty. But do that if you
don't use your tongue. Come on, man. Use your fingers.
It's fine. Fingers too. Whatever. Toes. I don't care. Use whatever you want. I'm not looking. Use whatever appendage you like. But whatever the case may be, click the button that is like. If you don't like this, why the hell are you watching? You're watching. You like it. Click the button. That's all I'm asking you. If you're either watching on Twitter or Facebook, retweet this, reshare this, share whatever the case may be. Do this. It does matter. Please subscribe to whatever you're watching. You watch this on Facebook, follow. You watch it on Twitter, follow. You watch it on YouTube, subscribe. Do the thing. It does matter. You see the super chats go to the front. I'm trying to get as many. I know I got more. I'm coming. If these guys will let me, I'll do more. Also, I will then go to people who are members. Become a member if you want to. Right? That's easy. Go to YouTube, click that join button, $5 a month, and you're rocking and rolling. Now you're part of the team. See that? And then when I'm doing only member stuff, you're part of Cool Kids Club. And doesn't everybody be part of Cool Kids Club? See, we all do. Part of Cool Kids Club. It's awesome. But no matter what, please follow these three gentlemen who are giving us so much back and forth. A little bit too ruckus sometimes, but that's okay. No worries. Please follow Adam at Adam C. Moreno on Twitter or X. And also please follow Kit at Kit Cabello on either X or Twitter. And please follow Mike on Rumble at No Soundbites Allowed. All right, let me grab one more super chat before you guys yell at me. One more, if I could do one more super chat.
Let's do one more super chat. There you go.
There's a couple of them in there. Oh, there's the big one.
Yeah, big one. Uno.
Thank you. Unite the masses through life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. I've been saying that since literally 2018. Yes. Revolt against the tyrants. Stop worshiping money. Eat real food. I'm winning. He's winning. Lunatic again. Yes on all of them. Use the wisdom. Pass the wisdom. That's a good one too. Eliminate
I like that.
Noise in life. Prep for the worst. Love. This is the part that I got to tell you. There are two reasons why I'm very happy that RFK Jr. ran this year. Two. One of them goes back to what Kit was talking about. I have spoken about ballot access this year.
Thank you.
Yes, more than every other libertarian in the past 50 years combined.
True.
I have spoken more about ballot access to more people, more issues than ever. So that's piece one. That's the pass the wisdom. And the next thing I like is what he did is what Bobby Kennedy's done is with the MAHA idea, which he had before MAHA, which was the idea that other things mattered, like food and family and what no one else was talking about, right? He actually said, fix the family, fix the community, fix the nation, right? Fix the family, fix your individual health. I love those two things. I think lunatics on the money. That's my 2 cents.
I tell my audience, when they watch my show, after you're done watching my morning show, please look at other perspectives and points of view. 100%. Look at other people who I'm not asking my audience to agree with them. I'm not asking them to like it. It's just hear a libertarian or socialist or communist or Republican or Democratic perspective so that you yourself can be a well-rounded individual and see things and then come to your own conclusion about what is correct to do, because for too long we've been
Hold on.
hypnotized in the two-party
I got more
system.
suggestions too, but before we do it,
go
you brought it up. Tell people, Kit, when's your show? Tell people what you're doing.
Yes, my show, Monday through Friday, Hard Lens Media, Chicago's fastest growing independent media network, the #1 morning show, 9 a.m. Central on YouTube, Rumble, Rockfin, Odyssey, and Kick. And by the way, I think we, so far on Kick, we are the #1 political streaming show in the morning, 9 a.m. Central. YouTube kicking ass, Odyssey kicking ass, Rockfin, Rumble. We're taking over, and soon it'll be worldwide domination. And then I will rule with an iron fist.
There we go. Mike, tell us what you're doing.
Not as much, not as many as Kit has there. I haven't heard about Kicks. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's on Kick too.
Every Sunday I do a live stream on almost all the platforms out there, reaching out, just talking about all this on, God, there's so much that was just said I want to reply to, but no Soundbites Allowed every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. We open it up. I take phone calls, I take chats, I take super chats coming from around the world, talking about all the issues. We go from breaking news, international, and domestic in that order, to address all of the things that are happening that the mainstream doesn't necessarily like. But one thing I do want to highlight is something new that I've done, because man cannot live by politics alone. You must have beer, bread, and also sci-fi. And so I started a sci-fi channel, brand new.
Yes.
Great. Oh, hey, awesome.
Right off the ground. And my thing on that is every Saturday at 3 p.m., I do a top 10 sci-fi challenge. I've had Larry on. Next week, I'm going to have the author Blaine Pardoe coming on, where I just go, okay, here's our topic. We do sci-fi guns or
I did villains.
And
are you familiar with Warhammer 40K? Please say.
Oh my God, yes.
You
Are
are?
you kidding me? He loves it.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Alpha Legion.
Alpha Legion. What?
Yeah.
What? Alpha
Come on.
Legion.
Don't tell me that you're going with the blueberries. Don't tell me you're going with the blueberries. The
tomorrow on the way. 500 worlds. We're Mark Gellerman. What's wrong with you?
And you know who's on those 500 worlds? Alpha Legion.
No.
They're everywhere.
Adam, what did I do? That's what I did.
Let me do this.
I love it.
I am gonna have counterpoints on this show with you guys, and I'm gonna do a 40K show with you.
Hey, yeah. By the way, Michael, guess what? I've done 2 audio and I'm working on a 3rd one, audio voice acting projects for Warhammer 40K. I did 2 for Warrior Tier, the one Mechanicus and then the other one was Angron.
Great.
I won't tell you what happened to my character.
Right, you're geeking my audience out. You're geeking my audience out, guys. It's a separate show.
Okay, bro.
Adam,
I'm sorry, but I'm loving it.
Adam,
by the way,
tell us what you're
Alpha
doing.
Legion are loyalists. They support the Emperor. You don't?
Are you serious?
Of course they do.
Get out of here.
I'm sorry, Larry.
I am Alfarius, and this is a lie. Yeah, right.
You guys. Adam, go, please. Tell us what you're doing.
That's so funny. Yeah, I in a sentence, I produce an internet show that discusses news, politics, ideas, and essentially our future. And I call it On the Line, right? And I also do other kind of segments, right? Like we've been doing something called Positive Politics lately,
I like that.
where it's really highlighting some wholesome, joyful experiences that are there that most of the time just get brushed underneath the fridge, right? But it's highlighting those experiences and making it more of a feel good type of show. And a lot of people like it. But yeah, we really just have a lot of conversations and we highlight a lot of different perspectives there. And we started it with, RFK Jr. and now it's kind of shifting and expanding. Like the umbrella is just getting larger. So that's exciting.
Like that. All right, let me try to get some more super chats in here. All right. Lynn, thank you for the super chat to $5. Hey to my favorite podcasters. I feel if Trump wins, we'll have a run of presidential and VP candidates, i.e. RFK, Tulsi, Vivek, and Vance. I feel if Trump wins, we will have a run of president VP. That all the people will run for president? Is that what you mean? That all run for? I think that's true. This is the issue. A lot of people who like RFK Jr. think, well, he'll just run in 2028, which I'm not saying he won't do that. I'm not. What I'm saying is it's not that easy. You got 4 years of people thinking about what the next step is. They're prepping better, like Kickstarter. He's about prepping. They're all prepping, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all getting ready, right? So if Tulsi's going to run, she's getting prepping. If Vivek's going to run, he's prepping.
Yep.
If Vance going to run, he's prepping, right? Any of these people who are going to run, they're all prepping. I'm not saying RFK can't win. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is it is not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park at all. Everyone else can be prepping too, trying to get their stuff done.
It will be one of the best. I would hope that I want all of them to run. And if they all run, we may have one of the best elections or election seasons that we have ever had before. And when I say I want them to run, I'm not talking about, doing the advertisements. I want them all on a stage, regardless of left, right, or independent. I want them all. I want to see RFK, Tulsi, Vivek, Vance on the same stage with whomever the Democrats decide. It'll probably be Newsom because they have no original ideas, and they'll put them all on the same stage and ask them a real question. Don't give us the bullshit that they keep putting out there. Right. Ask a real question and give them 5 minutes each, not a minute and a half. No one can answer anything intelligent in that time. Give them 5 minutes to give a halfway decent real answer. That will be incredible, and America will be on the right track to improving if we can see that happen.
I like that.
That's good.
I do think a lot of people are going to be there. I do. Let me go. If a good Peace Logic has okay. Let me swap these out because one's easy, one's hard. Easy one. Peace Logic thing for the $5. Adam, I agree. Young people not voting. How do we change that? I don't know if we can actually change it unless they get some hope that there can actually be something better for them. And many of them did. I know my daughter's peer group. My daughter's 20, and the peer group is like nothing matters. It doesn't matter. They just want to be on. They want to be on Xanax and the PlayStation, and Twitch, and Twitter.
Well, wait. I wouldn't go that far. Man. Come on, man.
I'm going that far. I am.
Well, I mean, look. Let's face it. There are people who do suffer from that. I think the vast majority of people just want direction. I wouldn't say they're going to just go ahead and believe in the substance abuse. I mean, it's easy to go that way, but I think
hold on. I'm making my point. Just because you're on Xanax doesn't mean you're on substance abuse. I didn't mean that to be substance abuse necessarily. Some of these kids need some stuff. So I'm just saying they want to be on that and then just move on. But go ahead.
Go ahead, Adam. I'll give you the floor.
Sure. I reference this story just because it's so personal, but I think it's actually very reflective of a lot of people in a lot of young people. I remember it must have been 2020, and I called my sister, and she's very into politics, much more into politics than I was at that time. And I called her and I was like, "Hey, so who are you voting for this year?" send me a list. Who are you voting for? And I'll just copy it. And she was so adamant on not telling me.
Wow.
She was like, no, like you need to do the work. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for because then it lacks substance. It's just two-dimensional. It's just the transference of opinion. And now you're not voting for someone because you actually care about it, or because you know the issues, or because you're well knowledgeable on the subject. Now you're just voting for it because your sister does, or because your parents do. And it's just not a healthy way to form an opinion. And that's why I don't know if you guys ever see these videos of people who go up to a bunch of college students or just random people and like, who are you voting for? I'm voting for Kamala. Why? And
they have no answer.
They almost don't know. And the fact
freedom and joy, isn't that the appropriate answer?
Yeah, joy and whatever. Yeah, joy. It's not the answer. You don't want that.
And the fact is, like, I was that person. You know, like that person was me. Like, and it was because of people, not like my sister, but people who I reached out to, and they did give me an answer. Right. And it was just two-dimensional. So my sister actually, she broke the hole in me that taught me I actually need to learn and become well-informed. So I remember going home and literally I cracked open a Red Bull and I was like, all right, let me watch all the debates. You know, so I watched the debates for presidency. I watched the debates of local office, and I was very clear. I'm like, I'm not voting parties here. I'm voting people. I'm voting ideas. And I remember that election. I voted for so many Democrats. I voted for so many Republicans. I think I might have even voted for a third party. And it was because I started voting on ideas, right? And it wasn't because someone told me to vote for one way, but I think you need people to kind of show you that, because 9 out of 10 times you guys could probably call a bunch of people and say, hey, who should I vote for? And they'll just give you their opinion, because that's easier. It's easier for people to give you an opinion than for someone to tell you, actually, you need to do the deep work of peeling back the layers of your bias, peeling back the layers of what you've been taught.
Mike says this shit every week. Mike's totally on board with you.
Well, I was going to say,
you're literally speaking his language right now. Go ahead.
I say that constantly, which is why I give all I'll have in one show 30, 40 different sources, and I actually link all of them so people can go see them themselves. But I'll tell you what I do. And here's something that may help people, younger people, Adam, may have helped you as well, is not just telling people, oh, do the homework, but what I often do, and people come to me sometimes, they go, oh, I know you know all about this stuff. So what do you think? I go, okay. So 2 answers. Do you want me to tell you what I think, or do you want me to tell you what's going on? They're 2 different things. Because if you ask me what I think, I'm going to tell you my personal opinion, the way what I see out of it. But I can also tell you, and I would prefer to tell you, here's the situation as it is. Now you can do whatever you want with that. You can go anywhere, and people know I have enough credibility. People have learned and seen me do this enough times. When someone says, I just want to know the facts, fantastic. Here's what I know. And I can list out, and I know all the issues, and here's all the facts that exist there. Now go and figure it out for yourself. Don't ask me anything else after that. Now you have the facts, double check anything you want, make up your own mind. And that's what I always try and encourage. And I think that's very helpful for a lot of people.
You're right, but they're not doing it.
Yeah. And I definitely offer like a really similar perspective. And I remember a while ago, I was talking to my fiance, and I was like, my videos are too long.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, by the way. Yeah, well done, buddy.
Thank you. And I was like, my videos are too long, because at this point they were consistently like 25, 30 minutes, and I didn't like it. And these are covering.
You're talking to Mike Vass.
That's long.
Who does like 75 fucking hours every Sunday. He starts Sunday, he ends like Thursday. That's kind of how he does it. That's what he does.
But you see, part of my perspective is I see other people in this space, and they really put out 7 to 10 minute videos, and they do like 3 of these a day. So I'm like, if I'm trying to have the same conversations at the same quantity that they are, I need to cut my videos shorter and put them out. So I started just studying these people, and I was always watching them, but now I started studying them, and I'm being really intentional about the conversations they're having, or the resource they're pulling up, and what they're actually saying. And I learned something, and it's so fascinating. People on the left and the right, I learned that the reason these people are able to have such a short show, like I'm talking 7-10 minutes, is because they are literally only showing you one side of the coin.
Yeah.
And I realized that's my problem. My problem is I explain all the perspectives. My problem is I show
Adam, let
what's
me
actually happening.
Again. The people who are making the most impact, the people who have the largest followers, the people who are respected the most, are not the 7 to 10 minute guys.
Never.
They're the guys who will talk for an hour. They'll have good conversations with people. The guys who will speak for an hour. Joe Rogan broke this open years ago, right? He was the guy who broke this open years ago.
Jesus Christ. Look how he got started. He had a basement studio.
Yes.
And now look how he got started. I mean, because people forget it just wasn't a Joe Rogan pie. He just walked in. No, like, I mean, it was like he got inspired by, Tom Hartman? No, not Tom Hartman. The guy who dated Drew Barrymore. What was this guy? What was the dude's name?
Freddie.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name.
Yeah.
But
Tom Green. Tom Green. There's a whole bunch of
background here real fast. When I was on Rogan, this is a true story. When I go to Joe Rogan, I tell the story often because you'll get what I mean by this. I walked in, sat in his green room. I was early, he was late. He shows up, opens the door. I'm not joking, just says this, Sharpe here. I went, yeah. He sat down. I sat down. He put his headphones on. He said 3, 2, 1. Larry Sharpe. That was it.
Sure.
And we talked for 2 hours. That was it. He did not prep me. He did nothing. He just talked. So I'm not saying you're wrong to do 7 to 10 minutes. I'm saying the key is having good conversations. People will watch for 3 hours if it's inspiring for 3 hours, or they'll watch for 7 minutes, or they won't watch for 30 seconds. Why do you think whenever I start my show, I talk shit right off the bat? I want you to keep watching. That's why I start. I want you to keep watching. Yes.
No, but everyone who does really well with this, our niche, our genre, is the best people are going to talk as long as the issue needs to be spoken about.
That's good.
What that means, sometimes I'll have a 15-minute, I'll do a 30-minute, I'll do 3 hours, whatever it takes to cover that part of the subject, that issue, that day. I don't care how long it takes. It's have I gotten the information out, and when I'm satisfied that I did, great, and it's whatever length it is.
And I only care about a fun show. That's why I cut people off all the time. I care about a fun show where people are where my people are encouraged. I want people joining, which is why we have to do our final super chat for the moment. Peace, Lodge. This is the hard one. Can't we argue the Republican Party is the new Democratic Party?
No,
I already said that.
I agree. No.
I already said yes.
No.
Well,
no.
Let me put a caveat on that. It's what the Democratic ideal was, to be representative of the people at the grassroots. It is becoming that.
No,
it is.
No.
Okay. You know what? I know what your point is, Adam. You are the independent one here. You are the youth, the next generation.
I am also an independent, my friend. I know. Yeah. But here's the thing. When we look at the Democratic Party, I mean, if we really want to look at the Democratic Party of being a party of the working class, it died with JFK. Let's be very clear about it. It died with JFK. The Democratic Party we want will be non-existent. And what we're seeing with the Republican Party is the anger and outrage of the failure of the neoliberal Democrats. And people are flocking to the Republican Party because they see it as the alternative because of the amount of abuse for the last 3.5, dare I say it, 4 years of Biden and Harris's policies. But Adam, I'll give the floor to you. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know if the Republican Party is the new Democratic Party, but I do know that both of those parties are in kind of an identity crisis mode.
Agreed.
I think that's true.
Fair enough.
Yes.
That's fair. Yeah.
So I think we need to analyze like what these metrics are. You know, at the end of the day, there are still a lot of Republicans, there are still a lot of Democrats, but what are the issues and where are they actually standing on? Right. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think the Republican Party is the new Democratic Party, but I don't think the Democratic Party is also the Democratic Party.
Yes.
No, definitely not.
Yes. Yeah. No, but I'm going to go 2 parts, I think. Number one is, I think the answer is absolutely no. However, I do think there's a chance. I go back to my same thing. When Trump goes away, will the neocons retake the Republican Party or not? And I don't know if they will. If the neocons take the Republican Party back again, nope. They're going to be just like they always were. I think there is an opportunity for that to happen. I think it depends what happens when Trump goes away. That's as far as I'll go. But I would not say that, no, they're not the new Democratic Party. No. Go ahead, Mike, defend your boys.
It's real simple, but by the way, yes, little Bubba, we are paying attention to what's going on in the chat. We hear you guys. We see what you're saying, but
we see all and know all.
There you go. But yes, the Democrat, again, I have to point out, these things take time. It is a slow process because they are so stuck in the mud. They have so much of the deep establishment involved in them that it has been hard. But we have been seeing that movement. We saw it with the Tea Party. I keep going back to that because that's when we saw the first real break. It wasn't about religion or the different parts of the establishment. It was something completely different. And it has been evolving into its own thing. And we are seeing a lot more. Many people are saying it's the MAGA movement. I don't really call it that. I don't believe that's what it is. You can say it's America First, which I don't think is a bad thing either. But I think what that is just the resurgence of grassroots Republicans stepping up and actually speaking about what they think, even though they know they're going to, the being ostracized is no longer as terrifying as it used to be, because of people like everyone on the screen right now, because we're up there going, I don't care if they're going to try and ostracize
I already
me.
got shadow banned. And Kit got how many times you get thrown off the YouTube?
9-time world heavyweight champion.
Champion of the world right there.
Come after my belt. Come after my
world.
And I guarantee you, Adam, it's coming for you too, because we've all had it happen.
Yeah. Hey, man, don't worry, man. Adam, we got your back, man.
Don't worry. And we and the growing number of people are coming. And I know this because John Kerry was specifically talking about each and every one of us, saying,
Thank you.
We used to control the voices that people would go to. And now
he said the quiet part out loud.
Wide loud. And I looked at that. I go, you are such an evil traitor. I thought he was bad when he was working with Iran against America, but no, he's far, far worse when he's saying destroy the First Amendment to maintain political power.
All right, let me grab some more chats from some of the members here.
Go ahead.
Joseph says, make the poor's dreams and aspirations again.
Oh, dude. Joseph, how dare you?
Nicely done. She does have lots of dreams and aspirations for us. She has that.
No, she has dreams and aspirations for herself.
Well, yeah, but it's a truckload of them. They come in tomorrow. So yes, Guillermo says, I just don't trust Junior on this one. I think a lot of people feel the same way. I don't think he's alone. I think some people are still worried about this. I think some of them still are. We'll see what happens. So Joseph's on your side, though. This is from a while ago. He says, beautifully said, Mike. It's from about an hour ago. Sorry about that. But whatever you said, Mike, an hour ago, it was beautiful. It was.
What about what me and Adam said? What about what me and Adam said, huh?
We don't count. We don't count. Yes. Okay, Mike says Pete Rose died. I heard that. He did die today.
Yeah, just before the show.
I saw 83 years old. He passed away. That does suck.
R.I.P.
So Peace Logic also says, hi, Adam. Good to see you on Larry's show. You got some fans here.
There we go.
Look at you.
Well,
Alexa
he has a good show.
Yep. Alex says, I don't think of them as Trump cults per se. I see they are two forms of Trump derangement syndrome. Those who are vehemently against him and those who are blindly for. Cult is strong. Oh, she thinks the cult is too strong. But I think it's true. There are people who, no matter what Trump does, they'll just make an excuse for it. They won't even acknowledge when he screws up. And then there are people who, even when it's something good, they won't acknowledge something good. They'll just say it's bad no matter what. They'll find an excuse for him to be bad, even if it's good. And they'll find an excuse for it to be okay, even when it's bad. I think it's a valid point. Am I wrong?
Well, no, there's about 20%. Those people tend to be, and we see this consistently in all voting, there's about 20% of each party that are straight down the line, vote for the party no matter what. Doesn't matter who's in there. And that's true of Democrats, and I pick on them a lot because of it, but it's also true in Republicans. And they make up about 20%. And surprisingly, they're also about roughly 75% of everybody who votes in primaries, which tells you why we get some of the candidates.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
But outside of that group, and they seem very powerful and very big voices because they're the primary voters and they're the big money donors. But once you step away from them, then you see an entirely different mindset where people will say, well, yeah, Trump got this right, but he got that wrong. They will point out the errors and the inconsistencies. And yeah, I've done it myself. Trump, when he was talking on ABC in the debate, did he lie a couple times? Yeah. Was it as bad as what Kamala did? No. But yeah, I called, and it's on the live stream. People can see it. I was like, yeah, he's dodging that question.
Yeah, but you also left. You were like, Trump killed it. I was like, Trump got his ass kicked.
No,
Trump. I'm like, no, Trump lost. He lost.
She hasn't broken 50% yet. So yeah.
I would say people already forgot that debate, and right now people are wondering what's going to happen tomorrow between JD Vance and of course Tim Walz. I mean, let's face it. I mean, that's going to be mediocre as well. Yeah. I mean, what's going to matter is who pulls out the most voters on election night. That's going to be the end all be all conclusion of.
But I think there's one thing, Kit. There is a possibility, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's a possibility that one person really screws up badly, that could affect it. If there's a massive blunder,
Well,
That's
yeah,
anyway.
of course, because we have to take into account. Wait, to this point, look, we don't have a president running this country for the last 11 months.
True.
Joe Biden.
More.
I mean,
More.
this administration. Yeah, of course, more. But let's be clear. At least officially, the last 11 months, Joe Biden has admitted that like he hasn't sit down for like a White House press conference meeting, or he's at any kind of administrative meeting.
Cabinet
Who's
meeting.
been doing it? It's been Joe Biden. And again, to your point, Michael, how long has this been going on for? We don't have a president. What does the office even mean anymore? Are we truly Western Rome at this point? The Praetorian Guard is picking the president,
Yes.
or the Roman Emperor, and the Roman Emperor isn't in charge. It's going to be the Praetorian commanders or the people who are part of his staff. I mean, that's who's running the show.
Yeah.
So who's running the goddamn show? And the thing is, Trump wants to reestablish the power of the presidency. The last guy who did it was JFK, and how that turned out for him.
Well, they've already tried what 3 times with assassination attempts.
All right, okay. Let's before I get completely canceled. Kimberly is with you, Mike. Kim says Trump taught me about fake news. Kim's on your side, Mike.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. You think so too, Adam?
I think Trump is really good at exposing cavities they didn't know were there. And I think fake news is probably one of them. And I think RFK Jr. did the same thing. Most of his campaign was about exposing cavities that were decaying our nation.
There we go.
I got to give it to RFK. He has a couple of good points that, I would never vote for him, but I do think he has some good points in his policies.
Well, you might be when you vote for Trump. You might be voting for him indirectly. See that, Mike?
That's okay, because I don't mind if he has a cabinet position. I have no problem saying, you know what, give him a cabinet position. Yeah. Let him work on making America healthy. I have no problem with that. I just don't want him as president, personally.
So, Adrian, also being a member, thank you. Ray's Pizza in New York is best. Ray's is good. I like Ray's Pizza. I do.
Well, Chicago style is superior. So there you go.
There we go again. You have another fan here, Adam. Says, hey, Adam. Very cool seeing you on Larry's show. You got
a lot of people like Adam. A lot of people in the chat like Adam today.
Yes.
Well done, Adam.
This is an interesting piece. Mr. Shadow says, I think JD's losing Trump more votes than he's getting him. Do you think that's true? You guys, I don't. What I thought he used JD Vance for was throwing him into the lion's den when he was like once Biden dropped, right? When Biden dropped, he threw him and his team trying to figure out what the hell we do now. Now we got the anointed one, right? Now how do we handle that? They were like, okay, Vance, go get beat up. And he went out there like a trooper, the Marine he is. He went out there and he took all the shots.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. He doesn't seem to be gaining much.
I would say Trump should have probably maybe picked somebody else. I mean, look, hey, listen, glad to see a Marine being represented. However, J.D. Vance, to his credit, was critical of Trump, but I would say
I remember
possibly it should have been Vivek. I would say maybe Tulsi or somebody else that would have really gained, him. Yeah, who would have gained him more support? I mean, again, look, I have a lot of criticism towards Trump because there's a lot of things he could have capitalized on, and so much in which he could have proved on during his debate against Kamala.
Yes,
but at this point, I mean, we have October. Like tomorrow's going to be October 1st. We have October, and then the final days of the early days of November for election night. Election night's November 5th. And at this point, it's irrelevant. So who can inspire the most voters to turn out? Everything that happens in October will be a strategic point. Whoever can gain the most momentum is going to matter the most in October. So it's over at this point. Whether J.D. Vance has lost Trump or gained him votes at this point is irrelevant because we only have 1 month left. And then November comes around and time to vote, people.
See, I see it a little bit differently because, one, I do agree. I did not like when Trump picked J.D. Vance. I thought it was a bad pick. I personally thought that Tim Scott making a lot more sense politically and in the media. He's seasoned. He's a senator. He's black. A lot of good things that you can point to. And I mean, politics is politics. Those are all important things. But
right on.
But he's also a good person. I think he's a decent senator. But he didn't go that way. I don't think JD gained him a lot of votes, but he didn't lose any. And as long as JD doesn't screw up, as long as he is competent, Trump's not going to lose anything with him. He's already, JD actually paid for his way by being able to be the foil and the thing that highlights what's wrong with Tim Walz, the stolen valor. Yeah. And that was something that Trump, no matter how he would have wanted to try and attack it, if he didn't have JD Vance, someone with military experience, a combat veteran, he would never have been effectively taking on Tim Walz with all of his lies. So he's already made his bones. The question is, does he screw up in the future? As long as I think he's competent enough, he's not the factor. I agree with you, Kit, that going forward, it's a matter of who screws up first. And I think it's going to be Kamala, because this is why they keep her in the basement. Every time she starts talking, look at every one of her interviews. Everyone suddenly wakes up and they go.
Yeah, Michael, to your point, we're going to find out tomorrow how the Democratic administration is going to respond to the Port Authority strikes, because that's a day in which the Port Authority decides, hey, are we going on strike or not?
True.
And if this administration strikes it down, yes, it'll be Biden, but who's his VP? Kamala.
Yep. And they'll feel the backlash on that one. Absolutely. Go ahead.
Let me grab a couple more comments if I could. Alexa, also a member, says, I'm also in Illinois. Kit,
well done, Alexa. There you go. Chicago style for the win. There you go.
You got somebody else there, so I think you're rocking and rolling. There we go. Hold on. Matt did say something. He did a hold on. I gotta see if I can grab Matt here. Matt says Vader choked Larry out for bringing the fleet out of Lightspeed too close to the system. It's true. It's true.
You failed me for the last time, Admiral.
Yes.
Adam's looking at us all like, what? It's a Star Wars. It's the actually it's Empire Strikes Back,
the best one of all of them. Okay,
that was nice.
Best.
Yeah, that's very
He's
good.
He's looking at us like, I don't get it.
The AC's with me too. The AC says, me too, Alexa Lurie. I'm down in Mary Miller's district. So that's a bunch of Illinois people out there for you, man.
Yeah, cool. Illinois, represent.
There's a lot of you people out here. I like that. A lot of you people out here. That is awesome.
Illini will represent. There you go.
What did you say?
I said Illini, Illinois.
Oh,
Illini.
Okay. I got you.
Illinois.
I want to say, can we hope Utah votes RFK for the win on the Purplebacks? I don't think so.
That's not going to happen. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't see it at all. I don't think so. Yeah. I think that I don't think he'll win any red state. Is there a chance he could maybe get pushed to win a blue state? Maybe. Depends. Maybe, but I don't see it. Again, to do that, was it possible before? Yeah. I think it really was. I'm not sure it is now. Right?
2 months
I'm
ago,
not really sure it is now.
2 months ago, he probably would have won 1 to 2 states.
He could have.
Now, it's more of does he take 3% away from probably Kamala? Although depending on the state, he might take some votes away from Trump. But I think net, he winds up taking away about 2% of the votes from Kamala, and that's in this race. That means that Trump wins by 4%.
Yes, absolutely. Matt goes on to say, yeah, I don't think the answer is everyone becomes Republican because they're a problem like Democrats need a third party period. Kit, he's with you, Kit.
Yeah.
He's with you. Absolutely. He is.
Well done.
He is. Absolutely.
I don't mind the third party.
Jennifer does not like Republicans. She's like Mike Johnson as speaker, and he's horrific. Jennifer is not happy with him.
She's right.
Well,
she's right.
I mean,
there we go.
Again, Thomas Massey should probably be Speaker of the House. But I mean, because the only reason why is because he's the only one who called out the fact that yes, the entire system is corrupt. And if you look at how, in regards to our voting process and how bills and laws are regulated in Congress, I mean, it's all a joke. They save everything till the end of next year, and then time for us to have another discussion, for another debate, for another committee to talk about things. And then we gotta go next year. Oh no! And nothing gets done.
Yes.
So that look again, Thomas Massey's probably the only one who's doesn't have an APAC babysitter. So there you go. Only one that I know of.
Larry and Michael about to throw shoes at each other. We can't. We're not in the same room. We're not in the same room.
We wouldn't do that anyway.
We wouldn't anyway. It's true.
People don't get it. It's like we like each other. We just
it's true.
By the way, I like that dragon in the background. Hey, so have you been watching House of the Dragon, Michael?
I saw season 1. I haven't seen season 2.
Wait. No, season 2 is disappointing. But
that's
are you
why I
team
haven't
green?
seen it yet.
Are you team green or team black?
Matt Smith. He's oh god, I forget. Yes. I like him. I like his
brother.
Character.
Oh, I'm team
green,
man.
Isn't he green? He's the uncle.
I'm team green. I'm team green, man. And I got my reasons. I'm team green.
Wait a minute, which one is team green?
That's Aegon. That's Aegon. And then there's also the kid who lost his eye.
Oh, yeah. No, screw them. No.
What? Oh, get out of here.
I don't like that.
You don't understand a good spirit? Never mind. I
didn't see season 2, so I can't speak about season 2. I'm speaking purely from season 1.
Team green. You're gravely mistaken, my friend. Great. You made it great.
We need another show. No, all right. Nancy brings up a very important question. She says, October surprise. I think that's an issue. Do we have a view on October surprise?
Yes, there will be. There's going to be something happening in October. I mean, let's face it. Already, listen, July and even in September, we witnessed not one but 2 presidential assassination attempts. Mm-hmm. I mean, I never thought I'd see that in my lifetime because as a kid growing up, you hear about what happened to Lincoln or Theodore Roosevelt and JFK. But now here I am, 39 years old. In one whole year, I saw 2 attempts on one presidential candidate's life. And then, of course, RFK Jr. being denied Secret Service protection.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, anything. I will say this. Anything could happen in October because there is so much going on this year. And I've been proven correct. This election cycle isn't going to be the most important, but it's going to be the most interesting and most hilarious. And I've been proven correct on that.
All right, Adam, tell me what the October surprise is.
I think the entire election season has been a surprise. So I wouldn't be able to
now both of you guys copped out. Okay, Mike, give me an actual October surprise. Come on now.
No, he's not done. Go ahead, Adam.
Oh, do you have one, Adam? Go ahead.
I was just going to suggest that I don't think anyone would have been able to predict what happened during this entire election season.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's been curveball after curveball after curveball.
True.
Mm-hmm. So I think there could be multiple October surprises, right? I maybe Kamala fumbles. Maybe she actually starts taking questions from the press. Maybe she actually does an interview or 2. And that's whatever she fumbles the bag, right? Maybe Trump says something that he shouldn't. But even then, Trump has such a volume of interviews that it almost makes it less valuable whenever he does mess up, right? Agreed. But when Kamala does one interview a month, now that interview has so many eyeballs. It's almost more in her favor to actually get more in front of the press.
I agree.
But that we know that's not going to happen.
Vass, before you go, you got 2 people on your side. Grace says Tim Scott's likable and appeals to social conservatives. So already on your side there. I like that. Yep. And Jess says Tim Scott was my favorite. I wasn't going to vote for any of them in the primaries, though. So you got 2 people who agree with you there, Mike. But give me your October surprise.
Another Trump assassination attempt.
Really?
Please don't joke like that, dude, man. We got lucky with the last 2.
Yep.
We got lucky with those last 2. I don't want anything bad to happen to any presidential candidate. And again, a firefighter lost his life protecting his wife and kids. Yes. What happened in July? I don't want to see anybody get hurt.
That's horrific. The sad thing is, the anxiety that brought that about still exists. It's never been deflated. They haven't taken away that energy. They haven't backed down. In fact, they doubled down. I think you're going to see another attempt. And there was already 1 bomb threat at an event. I think you're going to see another. Now, mind you, I don't want them to succeed. I don't want these things to go forward. What I hope for is like the 3rd assassination attempt on Trump, that the FBI, this Secret Service, that they find this individual before they can take action and stop them. That's what I would love to see happen. Mm-hmm. But I think we're going to have that. And I cannot believe we are alive at a time where the same president in the same election cycle within a month of each other has been attempted to assassinate. I think that's the reason why I think they do it again. Copycat and the same existing pressure. I think that's going to be the October surprise. I know some people say, well, Biden will get 25th Amendment. He's out. to give legitimacy to Kamala and give her.
Oh, that'd be amazing for them.
Momentum.
That'd be a great deal. Oh, that'd be amazing.
I think
that's
that'd be
too good.
I think
That's not going to happen. But that'd be amazing.
I think that could happen because they're that desperate. But I think everyone's going to, outside of the mainstream media, that'll, they love her anyway. Throw them out the window. What you're going to see is everyone's going to see that as the cheap political trick that it is, and that delegitimizes Kamala, not boosts her. But between that and another attempt on Trump, I think it's going to be a big thing.
I'm going to two things. Joseph, by the way, says Massey Sharpe. I would take that ticket in 5 seconds. If Thomas Massey if Thomas Massey actually was like, Larry, be my VP, I'd be like, where do I go? What time? Where? I quit everything. Every job I'm doing, I quit. I quit everything. What am I doing? I would absolutely take that ticket. Now, heartbeat, I'd take that ticket. Wow. Anyway, but I'm going to
give you a Mississippi minute.
I would. If I think there's going to be some type of foreign policy win for the Biden-Harris administration. They're going to do something like there's going to be there's going to be a special deal between the Chinese, or a special deal with Iran, or a special deal. That is my call.
Not going to happen.
My October surprise.
The hostages are already dead. We got nothing to do.
I'm telling you, that's my call.
It's not going to happen.
Yours is something bad. Mine's better. So I like mine better.
I wish it would happen, but no.
Yours is worse. I like mine better. I like mine better. Guys, if you like this show, please do me a favor. Click the button that is like if you have it. I don't know why you hate me so much. Please subscribe as much as you can. I'm going to thank you guys so much for all of the super chats. It's been insanely good. Thank you so much. It's been a great show. You guys have been so good, so fun to talk to, and the chat loved it, obviously. I will be on tomorrow at 1 p.m., my live radio show, 1 p.m., and I'll be doing 4 hours probably in that area. I'll be trying to copy Mike. I'll be doing a whole lot tomorrow. I'll be doing a 1 hour pre-game show for the VP debate starting at 8. I will live do the entire debate and then do a 1 hour post-game show showing everybody how right I was. That's what I'll be doing. Guys, I will see you all once this is over, please keep Mr. Rhythm, Al Gore Rhythm, keep him happy and come back and do a chat, do something,
comment, share, subscribe. Come on, what's wrong with you people?
Over.
Tell everyone that I won in this conversation and that I was right.
That's man, you was the Alpha Legion, man. Ultramar forever. Get out of here.
Alpha Legion, yes.
No, Ultramar, man.